So today I thought we would react to a video together, that video being of me in June of 2025. If you're new here, June of 2025 was the turning point in my weight loss journey. It was where I finally made some changes that seemed to be pushing the needle on my weight loss journey. And ever since then, I would say I've had a fairly successful weight loss journey. Now, I'm not completely done with my weight loss journey. I'm still keeping it going, but I'm feeling pretty good. So let's see what my thoughts are looking back at this June weigh-in from last year.
Hello, welcome to the weigh-in video. I have done so many weigh-in videos in the past and I kind of took a break from it. Pretty much once 2025 started, I kind of gave up on weigh-in videos, and that is because I plateaued for the longest time. But now I feel like I'm starting to finally make a little bit of progress that is exciting to share. So I'm planning on doing these at the end of every single month, at the beginning of every single month, somewhere around there, and we will catch up on what has been working, what hasn't been working, goals, and what my weight is looking at like right now. So it's the end of June right now, and I weighed in at 194.7, if I remember correctly, this morning. And so we're just going to round that up to 195, which means I have lost about 10 pounds this past month after being at a plateau.
That's the funny thing about when I make a fairly large change, that is when I see the biggest drop in my weight. Now, it is not normal for me to lose 10 pounds in 1 month. Currently, I am losing like 3 pounds in 1 month, which is a lot slower than I would hope, honestly. I wish that I was doing the 1 to 2 pounds per week that they recommend, but I've slowed down quite a bit. I've lost a lot of weight at this point. It was going to slow down. It's fine. It's fine. I'm mostly saying that to myself. But yeah, 10 pounds in 1 month is crazy for me.
For the longest time, I finally have lost some weight. I feel like there's a little bit of momentum going. I'm very positive right now. So for those of you that are brand new to this channel, I'll just go through my weight journey super quickly. We're going to do a quick overview. We'll start with college because before that, I don't remember how much I weighed. I know I was self-conscious, but I was also a teenager. So throughout college, I probably gained about 50 pounds. And then after college, I gained like another 20 pounds. So my young adulthood was about 70 pounds. So that put me at about 220 pounds at that time. And then after college, I finally decided that I wanted to be serious about losing weight. Like, I'd always tried different things for a week here, a week there. Maybe I would exercise once a month.
That is what I've noticed in my weight loss journey since then, is that consistency is really the key in weight loss. Consistency in your workouts, consistency in your diet, and that is like a duh kind of thing. But before I was seeing success with my weight loss journey, I would work out like 2 times a week and be like, why am I not losing weight? And then I would stop working out for about a week or two, and then maybe I'd do one workout the next week, and I wouldn't be consistently doing my workouts. Same thing with diet. I would eat really good one day, and then I would not eat probably as good the rest of the week, and I would be so confused when the scale wasn't working. So consistency, definitely the key in your weight loss journey. Just find one habit and stick to it. You don't need to do 5 different habits all at once. So the first thing that I did was I started focusing on exercise and getting a consistent schedule with exercise. Started doing some strength training, started doing some cardio, some dance videos. And that consistency in my exercise is what got my first chunk of weight loss gone. And then that's when I got stuck at 200. And then I believe I'm going to talk about it in a minute here. But spoiler alert, what really changed is when I was consistent about my exercise, which I had already formed that habit at that point, but then I added in my diet a little bit more.
Or whatever to try to lose weight. But I seriously looked into losing weight pretty much right after college, and I started doing keto. And originally my plan was to do keto and exercise, and I would say I exercise maybe like once a week, so not really enough for it to affect my weight at all. Most of my weight came off with keto. And if I'm being very honest with myself, I don't believe that this was the healthiest way for me to lose weight. I downloaded the app that I tracked all of my calories on, and there were a lot of days that I was eating like 900 to 1,000 calories a day.
So I remember that moment looking at my app from when I was doing keto and seeing the amount of calories that I was regularly eating. I do believe at the time I didn't know that I was under eating on calories that much. I was just so focused on keeping my carbs at almost zero that I did not see the calories in those situations. So looking back at it, I remember being kind of frightening because when you undereat like that, your body tends to get used to undereating like that, and you mess up a lot of stuff, and it makes it even harder for you to lose weight. So I do not recommend undereating, obviously. It's just not sustainable, and a lot of people do end up gaining the weight back and then some. Me being a great example of that. I probably got down to like 160, 165 with keto from about 200. And in probably like 4 months, I was over 200 pounds. So it comes back quick. I also had gotten pregnant. So it's hard to tell exactly what was gained from pregnancy and what was gained from just me completely overeating because I was finally letting myself have carbs. But yeah, I forgot that I had shared that on my channel, that I had found out how much I was under eating at the time. I try to keep the story of my keto journey somewhat vague because number one, my memory is trash. I don't remember it all that well. It was a while ago. It was around 2020. But also I feel like I just did a lot of bad habits and I don't feel great about it. I know I often say when I look back at keto, there are healthy ways to do keto. I'm sure I was not an example of that. And I also don't believe that I could do keto again and do it healthily. It's not the diet for me. Any kind of restriction diet, not the diet for me. I need to be able to eat the foods that I want, or once I have the ability to eat said food, I overdo it completely.
And it was not healthy, but I did lose a lot of weight and I got down to 160, which is probably pretty close to what my high school weight was. I weighed anywhere between 140 and 160, I think. I don't remember. But after keto, 160. I did keto for maybe like 4 months, and then I went back to eating regularly, and I was able to maintain for a while, and then I got pregnant. So throughout my pregnancy, I gained like 80 pounds in pregnancy. I don't know what my weight was right after having my first kid, but there was something about having a baby that made me really, or maybe it's just me getting older, I just really did not care about my weight. I was like, I don't care what I look like. This is fine. It's whatever. I know at some point I did even out at about 220 once again, and I was just fine with.
I will say, now that I've lost quite a bit of weight, I am a lot more self-conscious about my weight, a lot more than when I was very overweight. Just interesting. I don't know.
And then I had my second kid and I gained weight once again, and after giving birth, I was 250 pounds. And then there was something about having a second kid that I was like, I care about my health now. Like, it finally got to a point where I was caring about my health, not just what I look like. And
I think this also is the turning point in a lot of people's weight loss journeys too, is when you start doing it because you want to be healthy. That's why I do cardio and strength too. I do the cardio for my heart health. I do the strength for my bone health. Those things, maybe like 50% weight loss, 50% health in my brain. At this point, I do feel like diet is the biggest part of losing weight, and then everything you do is just extra health benefits.
That is when I started exercising, and I wouldn't say I started eating better, but I started eating a little bit better. Like, every once in a while I would throw in some vegetables into my meals, but my main focus was just exercise for about a year. And within that year, I lost those 50 pounds and I stayed at 200 pounds for a full year. And no matter what I did, making more exercise, less exercise, including rest days, exercising for many days straight, doing different types of exercises, trying running, no matter what, my weight was not budging. So I got sick at the beginning of June. And I decided to just try counting my calories. And naturally, I just started eating more whole foods. Like that was one of my goals for this year, was to eat more whole foods. But once I started counting my calories, seeing the difference between calories in like a donut versus a potato, and being like, I'd rather have the potato right now. That's not really the best comparison, because donut and a potato are very different things. But you get what I mean. I started eating more whole foods, and right now
I would say a better swap for me currently is buying just smaller versions of things that I like. So instead of buying a full donut, just buying a mini donut or splitting a donut with my kids. It's more about portion sizes. So like I said, I don't like any diet that's going to restrict me. So if I want a donut, I'm gonna have the donut. I'll find a way to make the donut work. And there will be days where I just eat the full donut, but there was a time in my life where I would weekly go and get myself a donut. I just can't do that anymore. When was the last time I had a donut? Actually, I did have a mini donut yesterday. My kid wanted mini donuts, and I was like, that sounds pretty good. So I had a mini donut yesterday, but a full donut, it's been a while since I've gotten a full donut. When we lived really far away from my family, like I'm talking a 5-hour long drive, every single time I would send my husband into the Quick Trip, and there would be a deal on donuts, usually like 3 donuts for $2 or something like that. And I would tell him to do the deal, and I would sit and eat all of those donuts because he's not really a big donut guy. So I ate like 3 donuts. I don't even want to know how many calories I would regularly consume because we went on these road trips a lot.
Like I'm at a point where I almost prefer whole foods, not completely. Like you put a piece of birthday cake in front of me, I'm gonna eat the birthday cake. But before, I would be fine eating 3 slices of birthday cake and like half a pizza and be happy with that. But nowadays, if I go to like a birthday party.
Now if I eat half a pizza, now that I've lost weight, it hurts. It's really hard for me to significantly overeat. Like I can easily overeat, but I can't significantly overeat like I used to. It just hurts.
And I have a birthday cake and some pizza. The rest of my day, I want to be a little bit more whole foods. Otherwise, I do not feel good. I feel icky. And especially like the importance of protein. I always knew that there was an importance. I cannot speak. I always knew that there was an importance with protein.
This is when I've joined everybody in the protein cult. I feel like there are so many people that are so annoyed with these big protein labels on everything. And yes, a lot of it is like greenwashing, but the protein version of it, I'm sure there's a term for that, protein washing. You just need to look at the calories versus the protein to see if it's really worth it. But I kind of am liking the high protein craze. I feel like it really is what helped me lose a lot of weight, was just starting to focus on protein more and just getting a lot more information on that, because a lot of people online were talking about the importance of protein and why, and that led into the importance of strength training and feeding your muscles protein and, you know, all that stuff.
It helped with your cravings a little bit more, but I feel like after this month of tracking everything and really prioritizing protein, I noticed that if I'm on top of my protein and I kind of even it out throughout the day, that I don't want to eat as many snacky things, as many desserts. I always want it. But it's like less of a, like I need it kind of feeling. So I've been using My Net Diary on my phone to track all of my calories. And it started with me just tracking calories, and I tried not to track.
I still use My Net Diary all the time. I don't track every single day. I give myself, I call them my cheat days, but it's not me cheating on food because I don't do cheat days. I eat how I want to eat, and I just figure out how to make it work within my calories. But my cheat days are the days where I am trying to eat like a normal human and try to eat healthy without having to weigh out my food, without having to track everything in an app. I do that like once or twice a week. I'm working on getting to a point where I can just do it all the time and I can just eye something and figure out how it works into my day. I don't know when I'll get there. it's probably going to be a long time because I don't feel ready for it at all yet. And I've been tracking consistently for about a year.
Too closely on the protein, because once I start like really focusing on the little things, like protein, making sure I hit like a certain amount of protein every single day, and I start obsessing over it, then I start basing all of my meals just around the protein. And I know you want to base your meals around protein. I obviously know that, but it was more of a thinking of...
I forgot about this being such a big issue for me, and how I would sit and I would eat just like a chicken breast, and that would be it for my meal because I wanted to get as much protein as I possibly could. Or I would go completely the other way because I'd just be so tired of eating protein. I needed to figure out how to make my meals a little bit more balanced. And what really helped me with that was deciding, instead of hitting a protein goal every single day, hitting a range instead. So I don't know what goal I had for myself in this video. Maybe I'll talk about it in a minute here. But let's say my goal was 150 grams of protein. I almost never hit 150 grams of protein. And at this time in June, I'm pretty sure the information that was going around online is that you wanted 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, or 1 gram of protein per desired body weight, which 150 currently is my goal. I don't often get 150 grams of protein in a day, but I find that having a range of 100 to 140 grams of protein gives me that mental wiggle room. I can't obsess over protein. I want to make protein important in my diet, but I can't just think about protein.
I gotta eat all of this protein. That's where I'm gonna get my calories from, instead of adding in like a piece of bread or some vegetables or fruits or something. Like, I was so protein focused the first time that I was focusing on protein that I really neglected everything else. And starting with just tracking calories was much better for me. And also giving myself a range of protein that I wanted to get in, instead of being like calculating my exact protein that I want to get. I feel good at 100 grams of protein. That is where my body feels good.
Oh, so I did start the range around here. Okay, so I didn't struggle with that for too long, thankfully. I remember it being quite the struggle.
Some days I do get up to 140 grams of protein, but I don't feel bad at 100. I feel pretty good at 100, and I feel like that's pretty easy for me to get while staying 1,500 calories or a little bit less or a little bit more. That's another thing with the calories, is I give myself wiggle room, because some days I'm not going to be super hungry and I might be sitting at 13.
I still have the same goals in calories and in protein. I feel like they should have changed by now, but 1,500 calories and about 100 grams of protein still works for me.
More than 15, and some days I might be more hungry or I'm doing more things and I might be at like 16, 17, or sometimes 18. I give myself a little range. As long as it kind of evens out to 1,500 for the entire week, then I think I'm good. So like I said at the beginning of the month, I was a little bit sick, but as soon as I stopped being sick, I went back into exercising and I felt good, like a lot better. I'd never felt bad while exercising, but exercising almost felt easier, better, and something that I wanted to do. It's like my body just started figuring it out as soon as I started tracking my calories and making sure that I get a good amount of protein in. I don't know. I feel like I finally figured it out, and it's not that I'm doing anything majorly different than what I had been trying to do before. I think it's more about me being lenient about what I've been doing than what I've been doing. Just because I get so focused on just the little things, like I need to work out for an hour straight every single day.
That's so true. Actually, just being a little bit more lenient, because if you make yourself super strict rules that are difficult to hit, that are just like shooting for the stars, then you're going to fail and you're going to feel awful about it and you're going to feel like, what's the point? and just stop. What really worked for me was giving myself ranges for things and not having super, super high expectations. Right now, my expectation is that I try my best every single day. Every day is a new day. Recently, I had a pretty difficult time with my diet and I ended up eating way too much. And then today, I turned it around and I'm pretending like that never happened, and we're just like working our way back into healthy habits. The Mallory like 2 years ago would have completely failed for a few days and been like, well, that's it. I guess this is what I am now. This is what I'm doing. We're just gonna fail. It's fine. Whatever. So it's important to just like give yourself grace, forgive yourself, and just keep it pushing.
Yesterday, I felt good at 45 minutes and I was like, I need to stop. I'm really tired. And maybe the day before that, after an hour of exercise, I was still feeling good and I had time and I decided to do something else or to go outside and do something fun and get some more steps in. You know, I'm more lenient about everything. I just tell myself that I need to track my calories and get in within a certain amount of protein and calories. And I need to move my body at least 5 times a week. And that might be for 20 minutes. It might be for almost 2 hours. I don't know. I just do what I feel like doing. So I was checking out my Fitbit app and it said that my cardio fitness score has gone from poor to good. So everything is going so much better. I'm feeling so much better.
I miss the cardio fitness in my Fitbit app. They got rid of it. And I've been so curious about where I'm at now because I was starting to get really good. Well, not starting to get really good. I finally got into average and I was working so hard to get into the good zone. And now I'll never know.
Fitbit says I'm feeling so much better and I love the data. So if my Fitbit says everything's going good and I'm feeling good, I think I am in a good spot to say that what I'm doing is working. I was a little discouraged because right before this, I took my before picture and I compared my before picture today to my after picture after doing the Chloe Ting challenge at the beginning of the year. And honestly, I looked better in my before picture, the one that's in January, than I do in the one today. So that was a little discouraging considering I am like 5 pounds less, I think, than when I finished that challenge. I'll have to fact check that. I'll let you know here. So I weigh less right now, but I feel like I don't look as good. I don't know. That could be my brain completely messing with me too, because I said in the Chloe Ting video that I could not see the difference between my before and after for that. And I honestly wasn't really expecting to see too much of a difference because it's only 2 weeks. And
so the thing that I'm going to say about progress pictures is take them, just do it. I still feel awful every single beginning of the month taking my progress picture. I hate it every single time, but I love looking back at all of the progress pictures. I'll put up a quick video that I made. It's a short of my weight loss over the year. And it's just so nice to be able to actually see it because it's very easy for me to look in the mirror and feel like I hadn't lost any weight at all. And then to just be able to look at a picture from a year ago and compare it to a picture from earlier this month, it resets my brain. So take the progress pictures, keep them. I keep them on a locked folder on my phone. That way I don't have to scroll past it in my photo album all the time, but I still have access to it if I need to look at it.
I just didn't think I was going to see too much of a difference, but I got a lot of comments saying that you could totally see the difference. So maybe my brain is just not good at seeing differences on myself. Now, time for goals for next month. We have July coming up. July is a very busy month for me. I have 3 birthdays in my family. We, of course, have the 4th of July that I'm probably going to go to a cookout and eat food and not be, doing as much exercise. I also have a bachelorette party to go to this month. So we have like 4 events that are going to probably throw me off just a little bit. And it'll be fine though. I'll just keep doing what I've been doing. Like this past month, we had a few Father's Day celebrations. We had my husband's birthday.
I remember remember I did pretty good at the bachelorette party. I don't remember all of the other events, but I do remember the bachelorette party. There was drama at that party. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But as far as my health journey, I kept my portions in check. I ate what I wanted, and I did not drink too much alcohol. But July is always a difficult month because of all of the birthdays. Both of my kids have their birthday in July, and I want them to have a little treat on their actual birthday, and then they just share a birthday party. So that's like 3 separate times that there are treats in this house. There's like, July is just, there are treats in the house the entire month, and I am a sweet tooth girl, so July is hard. Stay tuned for that. It's currently June, but it's coming.
We had my mother-in-law's birthday. Like, I figured things out this past month just fine. So I'm gonna just go with what I was doing last month, and that was to eat maybe about 100 calories less, so 1,400-ish for the whole week. And then on that day of that event, I just do not track. I just kind of keep in mind a good portion.
That's a good idea. I'm going to do that in July again. I'm going to just like cut 100 calories per day and then just not worry the day of said event. I'm going to try that. Thanks.
For the month of July, I want to keep exercising 5 times a week. And I actually did kind of start running again. Running is not my thing. I have started and stopped the Couch to 5K a million times. I'm not doing Couch to 5K. I'm just running on the treadmill when I feel like running. We'll see if that leads to anything.
Yeah, I haven't run in forever. Incline walks are where it's at.
But I am enjoying just making my walking workouts a little bit more difficult. We'll see if that turns into something. We'll see. I'm kind of hoping so. I want to be a running girl so much.
Still do.
I hate it so much. I want to do my strength training 3 times a week. I need to go and buy some heavier dumbbells because I'm at 15 pounds right now. I'd love to get a set of 20 for some of my exercises. I don't know if that is within the budget for this month, but something to look into.
I'm ready to move up again, especially for like squats. I don't even know what weight I should go for, but the 20s are just way too easy with squats. But also I've been starting to up my reps instead of upping my weight, and that does seem to be putting a challenge on things. So I'm figuring it out. I did end up getting the 20s, I don't know, probably pretty soon after this video. So I've been working with the 20s for probably about a year. I think it is time for me to go up. When we were at my husband's childhood home, I did see he had a set of 30-pound dumbbells, but they were like straight up metal dumbbells sitting in his childhood bedroom. I don't know if I want straight up metal dumbbells. For one, it just smells. It smells like metal. I don't like that smell. Also, I feel like I will be not setting them down super gingerly. Like I will be slamming them down, and I'm worried about the floor and my toes. So I don't know. I give me tips. How can I make it work? These 30-pound dumbbells, because I would love to not have to buy 30-pound dumbbells. Dumbbells get very expensive as they get heavier. That's probably like $100 for a set of 30-pound dumbbells. And I know people say get the adjustable dumbbells. I'm scared of adjustable dumbbells. I feel like the plates are gonna fall off. I'm sure they are so safe. I can't get past it mentally. The idea of it. I don't want the adjustable dumbbells. I just want dumbbells.
And in between, I'm gonna just do some choice workouts. Like I've been hearing Ring Fit Adventure calling me lately, and I might answer the call.
Does that just happen to me every June?
And also my kids like going outside, so maybe we'll go and do some hiking. We might go do some swimming. We might just hang out outside. I bought a jump rope. I don't know how to jump rope, I guess.
I'm probably about to say it. I can't jump rope. I just can't. After having kids, cannot jump rope. I will pee.
So I tried it, and it just did not go well. But maybe I'll learn how to jump rope a little bit better. I'm going to keep my calorie goal about the same. 15 seems pretty good. I'm losing about 2 pounds a week right now. I feel like 15 is a sweet spot for right now. We'll probably reevaluate that again next month, and I might tweak it within the month if something happens. I'm trying to be lenient because that seems to be what has been working for me lately. I'm going to continue eating whole foods, but honestly, processed foods are not banned. They're gonna show up in my life. There's going to be birthday cake this month. There's gonna be pizza. So mostly whole foods with a little bit of the cheap foods here and there. I feel like a good goal for the end of July might be about 187. So I lost 10 pounds this past month. I don't think I'm going to lose 10 pounds next month because this isn't a brand new thing anymore. Usually when something's brand new to me, that is when I see the most progress, and then it kind of just... So 187 is probably going to be a good spot. Just a little bit less than 10 pounds, but not too much. So still a little challenging, but not majorly. And my big number one goal is to get to 170 by October. That is where I want to be. That might get adjusted.
I didn't do that. That didn't happen. I didn't get to 170 until the end of the year. I wanted it so bad by October, but I would have had to been extremely strict, extremely on it, and it just didn't happen. And that's fine. It's fine to not reach your goals. It's not fine to quit and go back to how I was before.
I just don't want to get too hopeful because things usually go very well at the beginning of my different weight loss journeys that I've been on. And then suddenly I plateau, and then I lose all hope, and then I eat. That is the cycle that I've been in. But I'm hoping to break the cycle, especially because I'm feeling so good eating the food that I am right now. So I feel like this is something that I can keep up with. So if you're interested in following my weight loss journey, I have a good feeling about this one. Go ahead and subscribe. Like this video for more weigh-in videos, and I will see you next time. Bye!
So that was me about a year ago. I feel like I've learned so much, but at the same time, I feel like my goals and my outlook are very similar to what they were during this turning point. I was really expecting to really school myself here, and I agreed with pretty much everything that I said in this video to this day. So let me know what you think about past Mallory and what you think about current Mallory. Go ahead and subscribe so you can follow my weight loss journey. We are not finished yet. I don't know when I will be finished with my weight loss journey. This might just be, a lifelong health journey. Actually, it will be a lifelong health journey. I want to be healthy for my life. And like this video, if you like me reacting to some of my old videos, I might react to a what I eat in a day video where it specifically says in the thumbnail, this is why I'm not losing weight. It was pretty much me showing you what I was eating when I wasn't thinking about what I was eating. So thanks for being here, and I will see you next time.